Did you know that the dominant side of your brain can affect your drawing style? People with a dominant right brain, often associated with creativity and intuition, may be more inclined towards abstract or expressive drawing, while those with a dominant left brain, associated with logic and analysis, may prefer more structured or realistic drawings. In today's video, we're going to explore a sketch that will hopefully help us discover what side of the brain you're most dominant. And at the end of the video, I'll show you a simple trick that has helped thousands and thousands of artists just like you develop their drawing skills. Now before we dive into today's lesson, there's 5 key elements we need to consider to have a proper workspace. Number 1 is lighting. Natural light is the ideal setting, but if you work at night, consider curtains or blinds to control the glare. If you must use artificial light, use a bright white light source like a desk lamp or overhead light, but you want to avoid harsh shadows. Number 2 is workspace. Ensure you have enough room to spread out your materials. A sturdy flat surface like a table or drafting board is essential, and you want to keep your workspace clean and organized to avoid distractions. Number 3 is ergonomics. Use a chair that's comfortable, that supports your back and posture, and you want to adjust your chair and table height to ensure your elbows are at a 90-degree angle when drawing. I like using a standing table, but I ensure that my elbows are just up above the desktop. Number 4 is atmosphere. You want to create a peaceful and quiet environment to concentrate. Set your thermostat to a comfortable temperature that can help you stay focused, and you want to surround yourself with things that inspire you, such as plants, artwork, or even personal items. And lastly, number 5 is your art materials. For this lesson, we'll be using a sketch pad and a pencil. I'm going to start today's sketch off with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick, but you're welcome to use whatever you'd like. And by applying all 5 elements together, you set yourself up for success. You can also think of it this way. Imagine you're having a nice dinner with family and friends, but you're surrounded by trash and noisy construction equipment. That would definitely ruin the mood and experience. Same goes with drawing. You want to enjoy the process by preparing the right environment to be creative. Try to carve out a time when there's little to no chance of disturbance. You'll want to find a quiet and comfortable space in your home where you can be creative. Now let's get on with today's lesson. Let's start by blocking out the basic shape of our drawing before we get into the details. I want to start with a guideline coming down the center of our page. Let's start at the very top in the middle. Just going to lightly work our way down towards the bottom using these short lines. Let's move back to the center and draw another line going across from left to right. Now with our guidelines in place, let's start blocking out the main facial features. I want to start with the glasses along the side. So we want to leave a gap in between. From that center line, let's move over towards the left. Just going to mark this off with a short line. Let's take that same distance over towards the right and do the same thing. Now from this point, we're going to draw a circle going out. Going all the way around. And this circle doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to come back and just smooth this out later. So we got that circle in place. Now I want to draw that same circle over on the right side. So we start by lining up the top, just drawing a short line going across, also across the bottom, and this will ensure that the height and the size of the circle are the same. Let's go back to that inside point on the right, come down towards that bottom line, go up towards the top line, and just smooth that out. Now in between the glasses, this is the bar that goes across, and we're going to place the nose along this bottom line. So let's start over on the left, curve up, almost like drawing a half circle. Just going to clip off the edge of the glasses. Now inside the nose, we draw 2 small circles for the nostrils. From the bottom corner of the nose, we draw a straight angled line coming down and then out towards the left, towards the corner of the mouth. Go to the right side and do the same thing. I want to make sure that the distance from the center line is the same, and that we come down towards the same height. So we're going to add a little guideline going across. Let's add some shape to the upper lip. From the center, I'm going to step up, draw a wide V going up and out, and from here I'm going to curve the lip going out and then down. Let's connect the corners of the mouth with the lower lip. We're going to come down the middle, go across and then back up, and I'll add some thickness to the lip. Let's start back on the left, step in, curve across, and then back up. Now from the corner of the mouth, let's draw a straight line going up towards that center line. And then from here, we're going to step out, draw another line coming down towards the bottom, and all the way up towards the top. And this will help us line up the side of the head. Let's take that same distance over on the right. So stepping over, coming down towards the bottom, and then up towards the top. Now from the top of the glasses, we're going to move up towards the top of the head to right about here. Let's draw a straight line going across from left to right. Now I want to curve this down. We're going to come down and then bend that up. Let's go back to the left side. We're going to curve the back side of the head. We're going to open up the head, going up and then down. Now let's go to the left side of the head. We're going to curve this down. And I want to bend this in towards the lip and leave a little overlap on the end. Let's line this up on the right. Coming down and tuck that in behind the lip. Let's add a curve from the corner of the mouth, bends around and then out. Now from the outside of the glasses, we're going to draw the arms. We're going to go up and then out. Go up towards the same height. And then the glass arm is going to sit on top of the ear. So start back on the left, draw a half circle. Around and then in. Let's go back to the center underneath the lip, draw 2 straight lines coming down the side of the neck. And then from the side of the neck, slope the shoulders, coming down and then out. Now since we're talking about the left and right side of the brain, we're going to place that inside the head. So let's start over on the left side. We're going to curve this up like a half circle, go across and then back down on the right. So now we've got the left and right side of the brain. Now I'm going to flip the top of the head in behind. So let's start on the left side right down here, bend this out and then up. Curve this up and then in behind the side of the brain. From the end, curve this down and then in. Now that we have a rough sketch in place, let's go back and raise some of these guidelines. Now I'm going to use this rough sketch as a guide to help us layer on some more detail and refine the shapes. Now I want to enhance the expression with the brow. Let's start by curving the brow on top of the glasses. So starting from the inside, we're going to go across the top edge and go out on both sides. Let's curl the eyebrow down along the side. And then from the inside, we're going to curl up the brow, coming in and then up towards the center. Let's add some wrinkles across the forehead, starting just in the middle on the bottom. One curve going across, move up, go across a little bit wider. I'm just going to bend this out towards the side. Let's go back and define the nose edge. Going around, adding a little fold on the side. And just darken up the nostrils. And then I'm going to go back and just clean up the outside edge of the glasses. Let's add a thick frame. So we're just going to trace the glasses along the inside. Add that bar across the middle. Now with that smile line, we're going to start by coming down and out, and then curve this down along the side. So it's a slight bend going across the cheeks. Let's add another fold just underneath the eyes. Now we're going to refine the shape of the lip. We'll start on the left side. We come down, up, and then down towards that center point. Add a curve to the lip, going up, round this out, and go out towards the side. Now from the top lip, we're going to add a few little wrinkles, going up and then in. And also add a few wrinkles going across the lip. And the lower lip, we're going to come in across the sides. I'm just going to lean this over towards the right. So coming down and then bending that up. I'm going to add some folds across the lower lip, leaning over towards the right. And then we can add in the teeth. Just going to tuck this up underneath the upper lip. And add a few teeth across the bottom. Just going to add the shirt collar and the shoulders. Now let's go back and clean up the side of the head. We're going to go up and then out. Now I can also sink in the cheekbones, just adding a little guideline coming in. Let's round out the corner of the head on the top. And then we'll thicken up that arm for the glasses. Then add some detail and shape to the ears. We're going to go a little higher along the top curve and then bend that back in. And adding that fold inside. Let's add a thick edge along the front. So we're going to leave a gap on the side. Just going to fold this across. Also adding a little bit of shape. You can also add some folds along the edge going down. And draw the back side coming in towards the brain. Now let's add some shape to the brain. We're going to dip this down in the center, going up and then down. We can just add some folds going around the side. And then in the center, we're just going to split this in half, just with a couple folds. Draw the back side of the head. Again, just taking out the sharp points. I'm also going to add a few little clips on the top of the head. It's coming down, just working our way across. And then add a little bit of thickness along the outside. Let's go back and do one final cleanup before I add some more contrast and shading. Now I'm going to switch to a thicker pencil. This is my 0.9mm pencil. Still using a 2B graphite stick. And we're going to add some more contrast to our drawing. Also some thick and thin lines. So adding the thicker lines across the bottom edge of each shape to help give it some weight and also enhance the shading. You can see that I'm adding some folds across the brow. Pulling those up, going around. Now let's darken up that fold across the side of the nose and then fade that out. Add a little shadow underneath the eyes. Now we're going to go back to the mouth. And I want to create that texture inside the brain. So in each of these sections, I'm just going to lightly sketch out almost like an oval or circle. We just want to overlap these on top of each other, just filling up that entire space. Now inside each of these circles, we want to create a swirl, going around and then up. We can change directions on each of these swirls. And then we're going to go in and start tracing out each of the swirls and creating some overlaps. And this will be the main one that overlaps all of them, going all the way around. Draw the one underneath as a secondary. And then tuck in the sides. This is our final cleanup pass. And then starting from the top, I'm just going to add some shadows. So in the back side of the head, I'm just going to darken up the inside across the bottom and then fade that up. And I'm going to imagine that the light's coming from the top of our character coming across. So the shadows sit along the bottom edge with the highlights across the top. Let's add a little bit of shadow across the back side, going up. Do the same thing across the front. Now with the brain, we want to create some shadow in between each of these sections. So darken up the center point and then fading that out. Just going to put the bottom area of the brain into shadow, so darken that up. And I can go in and add some fine detail inside the brain with some veins. Just scribbling these lines going across and also branching them out. And I want to create a glare inside the glasses. So we're going to start from the top left. I'm just going to shade this in an angle coming down and just fading that out. From the bottom we'll darken that up. And again, fading that out to create a strip of highlight. You just want to darken up the top of the brow and then fade that down across the side. And I want to darken up the upper lip. And with the lower lip, I'm just going to leave a little bit of a highlight across the bottom edge. also across the top. And we'll go back and just darken up that core shadow. Let's go back and add a second level of shadow. So adding a core shadow across the top, almost like adding a reflection. So we're leaving a little bit of a gap across the top to get some reflection coming back in. Just adding a little bit of shadow across the side of the head. And I want to do the same thing across each of these sections inside the brain. Now the arms of the glasses are also going to cast a shadow across the cheeks. Just going to lightly shade this in. Just following that angle coming in towards the side. Add that texture across the lip. Now right about here, I'm just going to wrap up my drawing with a little bit more contrast and details, but you're more than welcome to continue as much as you like. Now that you're able to draw with confidence, it's important not to only practice each day, but challenge yourself with other styles of art. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for daily videos where I'll show you how to draw different characters and techniques. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one.